Hey, it's the postseason, and we're back. Chris Berman, Booger McFarland. This is playoff time, NFL Primetime. Welcome to the real season, Booger.
Yeah, it's the real season. We fight all year to get to here, see if we can go get a little bit of diamonds on the fingers.
Well, I don't know what seed we were,
yeah,
but we made it in. All you got to do is get it, because you know what time it is?
Yes.
You know what time it is? You know what time it is? It's
playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
It's kind of like playing the national anthem before the start of the season. We had to do that.
Absolutely.
Coach Mora, we love him. You know,
Coach, absolutely.
All right, so we get to the business at hand?
Yes, let's do it.
Because, wow, all we can say is, wow. So, let me just put this into perspective. The Buffalo Bills have been looking up for 20 years, as is just about everybody in football, at the New England Patriots. Patriots, obviously, almost for 2 decades every year. AFC East champs. Bills won it last year. But despite all of it, with New England back in and winning in Buffalo early this year in the monsoon, or whatever you want to call it, Bill Belichick's record as Patriot coach in Buffalo, 19-3. To the fans, it was personal. Last year, they didn't get a chance to support their team in the playoffs in the Ralph. I still call it the Ralph. This time, with New England coming in, the rubber match, the team split, how would it turn out? Well, this, despite the temperature, was a night for circling the wagons as much as they've ever circled them for the Buffalo Bills. And here we go, Patriots at the Bills, and we know, like we said, Buffalo, maybe their best game of the year was in New England just a few weeks ago, but New England has one of the greatest coaches, if not the, of all time. And how would he put the clamps on Josh Allen? Answer, no matter what the temperature, you couldn't clamp this. And right away on the very first drive, Josh is off and running, Boom.
Yeah, and temperature can't stop that. He looks down the field, no one is open. And this is the X factor, Boom. 6'5" and 240, and you can't tackle him.
So all of a sudden they're in Patriot territory, and then Allen, he's got to roll. That's the design roll. It's a first down, and now down to the 9 yards, a 15-yard game. So Allen is running, but you knew sooner or later he's going to throw it. And this almost looks like a Wednesday practice when he fired, let me run, like, okay, I'm throwing it out of bounds. No, I'm not! It's Dawson Knox, 7-0 Buffalo.
Back on the playground, we used to count Mississippi. I counted 8 Mississippis, Boom. That's a long time for Josh Allen. And it looks like he's throwing it away, but what a play there by Knox.
8 Mississippi, that's a lot of S's, a lot of P's. That's a lot of stuff, 7-0 Buffalo. Mac Jones, could he be the first rookie quarterback to win a playoff game since Russell Wilson 9 years ago? Well, frankly, he was the best player on the field for New England, but more on that after it's over. He finds Hunter Henry 30 yards. And now, 3rd and 10 near midfield. Here's Mac. Hadn't played a lot of these games in -6 wind chill factor. And look at him run.
Early on, it was Mac's athleticism that was giving Buffalo an issue as he was escaping the pocket.
But you want to talk about Bills defense ranked first in the NFL in scoring and in yards? Look at Micah Hyde go up and steal a touchdown in front of Aguilar.
Center field safety coming from the middle of the field, Boom. This is one of the greatest plays in Buffalo Bill defensive history.
I would agree with that. And so the Patriots were looking to tie the game, and now Buffalo's second possession. Allen dropping. Oh, and there's Isaiah McKenzie, who ruined the Patriots up in Foxborough a few weeks ago. First down. Allen running. First down. You look at it again. Look at the strength.
But notice what down it is, Boom. 3rd down. Design quarterback run on 3rd down.
Now, very next play. Zing! Dawson Knox, and it was pretty good coverage. 14-0 Buffalo.
You could shoot a gun and the bullet wouldn't get there any faster.
All right, now the Bills. Next possession. Patriots a little bit of a rush. Oh, Gabriel Davis, 22 yards. They're all getting involved. Look at the water Buffalo heads. Then Devin Singletary. Running has been much better the last month. Down to the 4-yard line. Couple plays later. Singletary, a rushing touchdown. following the block.
Not only a rushing touchdown, but look at the physicality. Contact at the 2-yard line, and he drives his feet in.
Highlight of the game, New England, they blocked the extra point 20-0. Star Lutulele's had a tough time coming back from a lot of stuff, but he was a star on this play.
Love the inside move. Center goes away. He makes the move on the right guard. Nice sack.
Now Allen. Stephon Diggs. Hello. How's the grab? How's the throw?
Been a lot of noise talking between Jackson and Diggs. Tonight, it was Diggs' game.
45 yards. Now, next play. Josh. Gonna fake the handoff, gonna roll left, and watch this move. And makes the move on Bosby. Then safe. He's safe.
Boom, think about that. He's making a move on a cornerback. That's a quarterback making a cornerback fall.
Gain of 9. Now Singletary bouncing it. Nice move there. His second touchdown, and you get the feeling what's happening. 27-3 at the half.
Boom, if they can run the football, this is one scary offense. And tonight, they ran it with effectiveness downhill.
Patriots playoff history, 24-point deficit, largest they've seen. It would get worse for New England. It will be more fun for the singing fans. Matt Milano, 58, always around the ball, tips. Levi Wallace with the pick.
Boom, you know the rule. Tips and overthrows. Defenders, we got to get those.
Yep, and you're salivating here with such a big lead. Meanwhile, Allen, we get another drive. That's Emmanuel Sanders. 33-3 Buffalo. 33-10 now, fourth quarter. Another drive. Why not another score? Hyde made a big play. Now to Davis over the middle, 40-10. Every time they had the ball, they scored a touchdown.
And dare I say, boom, the route was on.
Yeah, it did on. And then Allen fakes the end, a little toss. Oh, the big guy, Tommy Doyle. You don't think they're having fun now?
Boom, that's not a pick six. We call it a thick six. He's over 300.
Wow, the Buffalo Bills. They frankly did what the Patriots in so many games have done to them and others. It's only one. But on this night, in a full house with below zero temperatures, the Buffalo Bills scored on every drive they had the ball. The last drive was a kneel down. It left no doubt that the back-to-back AFC East champion Buffalo Bills are truly, even though it went down to the last game of the season, truly the class of this division. What they do with it, we will see. But on this night, there are going to be some campers in the parking lot, I think, till Tuesday, Wednesday. And look, every drive a touchdown.
Yeah.
I mean, do we need to say any more? This was a team to me, and forget that it's New England. Let's forget that for a minute. This is a team to me that looked super confident in everything they were going to attempt, and most of the plays looked crisp despite the temperature. Do you agree?
Yeah, boom, and not only confident. To me, this was like the culmination of something that they've been putting in the works for a long time. Remember, the first game in Buffalo, Monday night, the win was a factor.
You remember.
But ever since then, boom, go back to the game in New England. They have dominated the Patriots since that game. And tonight, it wasn't a new game. It was a continuation of the last game in Foxborough. Yes. The quarterback was dominant. They ran the football 170 yards on 29 carries. And when they can run the football with the quarterback on design runs, boom, 3rd and 3. 3rd and 3 as a defender, I'm not counting the quarterback as someone I have to stop. 2nd and goal. Now, the same guy that can run the football, boom, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. What's going on, Granddad? Let me call my grandpa. Boom, that's 8 Mississippi. I can go to the bathroom and back, and you'll still be on the air. That's how long Josh Allen had. It was just a total dominant performance up and down the field. You got to give the offensive coordinator, Brian Daboll, a lot of credit because he called a game that allowed his weapons, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, to flourish.
Well, not only that, Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, all the Connecticut, smell all the longer states. That's what it was. Look, for Buffalo, and it's only one win, but this will be talked about for a long, long time up there because this is the team. You know, so 13-3, they went to 11-6.
Yes.
What's wrong with the Bills? Well, they don't look, and there was a lull there, and we all saw it. The second half of the Tampa game, which they lost, but the second half where they almost came back and won against their nemesis Tom Brady after they lost in the monsoon game. And I know they haven't blown every team out, but this is a team now, even though 11-6, they're a better team than the 13-3 team last year.
And remember what happened in the second half of the Tampa game. They were down. They were being blown
Way
out.
down.
In the second half, we saw MVP Josh come back.
Yes.
They started using his legs, and we saw a guy who said, you know what? Sean McDermott, the head coach, says we have one of the best quarterbacks in football, and we are going to win or lose with his arm and his legs. And ever since then, boom, they have been unleashing Josh Allen, and now's the time you do it. Design quarterback runs. When it's win or go home, you have to put your best foot forward. They've been doing that, but what have we talked about? Their physicality. Boom, they ran the football for almost 180 yards tonight. When they can run the football, now you have to cover Diggs one-on-one, you have to cover Knox one-on-one. This is a juggernaut offense, and regardless of who they play in the next round, they are going to be a tough out because their defense doesn't give up big plays.
Nope.
And their offense, they put up 40 tonight. They didn't punt the ball. They could have scored again. They just took a knee. So this was as dominant of a performance as we've seen in a long time in the postseason.
Well, a couple of things for the Bills. Again, these are you know what it's like to be on a defense that's unreal.
Yes.
Now, of course, Tre'Davious, we'll see what that means moving forward. They're Pro Bowl usually corner
yes.
who's out for the year, but this was a game that it wasn't going to matter. But they were the lowest. They allowed the fewest points, the fewest yards, fewest passing yards, and their plus-minus, meaning points for, points against, was best in football. But when you're a defense, because the play that Hyde made, I'm not saying it would, but it would have been 7-7.
It was a touchdown, yes.
When you're a defense we are the number one ranked. You know that you put your chest out, and boy, those safeties, Jordan Poyer knows what kind of play Micah Hyde made.
Him on the sideline, that might have been the most unbelievable play I've ever seen on the field. I mean, I was playing man on the tight end. He ran a drag, and I saw Mac throw the ball in the air. And, I mean, it looked like the receiver had maybe a step, but, you know, Micah was there and just made an unbelievable play. Like I said, probably one of the best plays I had ever seen on the field.
So those guys are a tandem during the game, during the press conferences. And, I mean, this is a night for a while, it looked like, boy, really? Like these great expectations aren't going to. This is a team that has a look of a potential Super Bowl. I know you agree after tonight. I know New England agrees.
Well, what do we always talk about? You want to peak at the right time.
Yep.
It's a 17-game season. It was a long year. We've been playing football since July, boom. Here we are now in January. And you can't play your best all year. We talked about it in the Indianapolis Colts game when Jonathan Taylor ran up and down the field, when the Patriots rushed for 200-plus yards. Are the Bills for real? They've lost a few in a row. They're peaking at the right time now. They're healthy. Their offensive line, the physicality. And I keep reiterating that because you have to have balance. During the season, they got in trouble when Josh Allen was the only weapon. Now the balance that they have, and also, boom, defensively, when you can make a play like this, all right, it's going to be 7-7, and the momentum will have swung. But it's a touchdown. Aguilar hasn't beat, but for Hyde to come out of center field and make a play like that, that just gives your defense a boost. Because now all the momentum, it's 7-0. You get that play. Now the momentum is still on your side. Now it's 14-0, and away we go. And this defense, Leslie Frazier, you have to give him a lot of credit, too. He's being interviewed. People have talking about him for head coaching job. He had his defense ready to play tonight. So that's a great job by him of multitasking throughout the week, personally, head coaching positions, and also getting the defense ready to play against an opponent that he knows very well.
And Daboll will get interviewed too, but they're trying to do something else in the meantime. Something you pointed out: 4 incompletions, 5 touchdown passes.
I think it's that.
Now for New England, this sounds like a look. If we can, the sting for New England fans tonight, tomorrow, as we speak on this show, will be a while. But let's be honest. Your quarterback, Mac Jones, I thought was the best player on the field. He had 2 touchdowns to Bourne. And you could see by the way the guys went up to him afterwards. The fact that they were in the race to win the division till, I know they won 7 in a row and it stings and they didn't finish well. I think they overachieved this year in the broad picture. Maybe not feel like it tonight, but now they know how far they have to go to get back atop the division. I think at 10-7 with a quarterback who shows promise like this, I think in the big picture they should be upbeat about it.
It's going to sting tonight because it should. If it matters, it should sting. But when you wake up in the next few days, if you're the New England Patriots or their fans, you have to say really simple. We have our quarterback of the future now. Let's build around him. What did we talk about? What did the Bills do? They had Josh Allen. They went out and got Diggs. You have to get Mac Jones a number 1 receiver. He doesn't have that right now. He's throwing the guys that are at the best twos and threes. Go get him a number one receiver. You can run the football. We know Bill's going to play defense, and it's going to be tough to score on. But I love what Mac Jones did as a rookie, where this team got into the postseason. You have to feel really, really good about him going forward. Now, get him some help. Get him a bona fide group of receivers, and Mac Jones will be fine.
Bill didn't forget any football.
Correct. I don't think he did.
He'll be anxious to get to work on whatever's coming for New England.
Yes.
But that won't be this season. What's coming for the Buffalo Bills, we can't, as it's Saturday night. They know that if the Chiefs beat Pittsburgh, it'll be a rematch of the AFC Championship game in the division round. But we're getting ahead of it. We're not selling Pittsburgh out. But boy, what firepower that would be if that were a game. So Buffalo moving on with exclamation points. Mississippi, dot the I's, say the P's. And now the other AFC game was in Cincinnati between a couple of franchises that haven't won for a long, long time. And that would be the Raiders, now in Las Vegas, haven't won a playoff game. I'm talking postseason since the AFC Championship game in 2002. That's 19 years. And the Cincinnati Bengals, since they won a playoff game in 31 years ago, they have been 0-8. They finally won their division again, a division with Pittsburgh and Baltimore. And their fans at home were saying, okay, we did this, but there's this playoff thing. Yeah, that was in 1990. But would they rumble in the jungle against the Raiders? So two teams looking for some postseason magic. And you know what? Good to see them both in there. The Raiders won 4 in a row to get in, and boy, Joe Burrow, the way he finished the year, of course, they clinched division. They sat out last week. Derek Carr, Darren Waller, 8 yards, setting up a field goal for the Raiders. Remember, they played 70 minutes on Sunday night. They lead 3-0. First drive, Bengals, Burrow, Jamar Chase. How's this duo doing?
Yeah, Boone, get used to it. The continuity and the efficiency at which they play is outstanding, and it was again today.
And now a screen to Joe Mixon. And the Raiders did a pretty good job on Mixon. This is a good-looking play on the opening drive down to the 10-yard line. Now 3rd and goal from the 7. A lot of third down conversions by both quarterbacks. CJ, the halls of Montezuma. It's a touchdown at 7-3 Cincy.
Yeah, just a great timing throw. That ball was out before he ever turned around, Boone.
Now, Derek Carr. Uh-oh, there's Hendrickson, and the ball recovered by the Bengals all the way down to the 15-yard line. Trey Hendrickson's had a big year. Yeah, tough blocking assignment.
Hey, Boom, I know they have 10 commandments. I'm going to add another one. Commandment number 11, do not block a defensive end with the tight end.
So, now the kickoff, Evan McPherson, Peyton Barber. Oh, no. He gets it and goes. So the Raiders had the fumble, and now they have to start a drive at the 2.
Yeah, I know what he's thinking, Boom. He has to put his foot out of bounds before he touches the ball.
Well, so that's not a safety, but at the 1, Sam Hubbard with a sack. The punter, the Pro Bowl punter, did a really good job getting it off. Had a good long punt. And I got to give the Raiders credit, because even though this is Burrow down to Chase with the juggling catch, they only gave up 3 on the fumble. Could they stiffen here? The answer is yes. That's Quentin Jefferson with the sack. So despite the 2 miscues, only 2 field goals allowed. Good for the Raiders.
Yeah, 1 or 2 sacks all day. They needed more pressure.
Now, Josh Jacobs, first couple series, didn't see him. But when we saw him, he was rumbling.
Yeah, we needed to see more of this. He should have had more touches on the day.
35-yard gain. Carr. Deshaun Jackson. Who knows if he would have got the first down, but Deshaun with the ball in his hands would have been fun to watch.
Got to catch it. He would have had to break a tackle.
So they get a field goal. It's 13-6, a field goal game. Burrow, Zoma. 29-yard gain down to the 40.
Boom, look at that throw right by the linebacker's head. The linebacker is trailing in coverage. Throw it right by his ear.
Now, Zach Taylor saying, you know what, how about we do this? We pitch to our young man, the rookie Chase. Cuts it upfield. So many players on the Bengals with big-time college games under their belt, if not NFL playoffs. Burrow, rolling. Oh, to Tyler Boyd, but wait a minute. Did the Raiders kind of stop? Was he out of bounds? Did the whistle blow? Well, you listen.
Boom, whistle blew while the ball was in the air, the officials should have disregarded this play and replayed the play. But they said, based on the report after the game, they thought he caught it after the whistle. Clearly, the video shows something different.
Pretty big play. The only good thing you could say about it was in the second quarter, so theoretically you could make it up. But that's 20-6. That's a big, big play. A rough, like, quarter and a half of the officials. Meanwhile, Carr scrambling 20 yards to the 34 on 3rd and 3, and then 19 seconds left in the half. We've been doing this all year. End of halves, end of games. Zay Jones. So 20-13. They could never quite claw all the way back, but they stayed in it the whole game. Boom.
That was a huge drive. Kept them in the ball game.
23-16. More field goals. Each field goal kicker had 4. Burrow, Chase, first down on 3rd and 7. Now 3rd and 1. So we're 7 minutes to go, and Joe Mixon's short. So look, a field goal gets you. So you're analytic, or what are we doing? He's a young coach. We're going to have a hard count. Can they draw him offside? The Raiders make a lot of penalties, but they were smart, and so was Coach Taylor. Kick the field goal because they bled more time off the clock, under 7, and now it's 10-point lead.
Yeah, great job by Coach Taylor. He's no Coach Staley, which is good.
Right? So now Carr making adjustments on 4th and 5, but you know what? Better use a timeout because 4th and 5, we can't afford to lose any more yards. Carr, 4th and 5, clutch. Deshaun Jackson still doing it.
Yeah, and it wasn't a deep route. It was a crossing route. Got open.
So, 26-yard gain. Carr looking for Waller. At times they connected, but doink off the helmet.
Yeah, that's one of those unlucky plays right there. He had Waller open on the crosser. Hit off Hubbard's helmet.
A header into the net for a score by Sam Hubbard. So they get a field goal, 26-19. Now, Burrow, Zoma, short of the marker on 3rd and 11. The Raiders have a chance. Opening play of the drive. Can they show magic one more time? They got in the playoffs on the last play of the year. Jacobs, again. But roughing the passer, so here they go.
Yeah, boom. All you want on the first play of 2 minutes is a drive starter. They got 15 plus 15 more. The Raiders in great position here.
Khalid Kareem got flagged, although at any rate it was flagged. Carr, Waller, that's a bullet. Now, Carr, Jones, first down on 3rd and 10. The other one was 3rd and 17. Here they come. There it is. Can they do? Oh! 2nd and goal, almost intercepted. Jesse Bates played a good game for.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Now, 25 seconds, Carr all day, throwing 1 Mississippi, 2. Well, that's incomplete. So now, 4th and goal. This is it. Rushing just 4, short of the goal line, and in the end, it's Jermaine Pratt that makes the interception. And different sort of celebration in Cincinnati than Buffalo. But boy, a celebration nevertheless. 26-19, it's over. 1990, that's ancient history, and the Cincinnati Bengals are moving on in the playoffs as AFC North champions, and Carr to Chase. Well, it seems like a long time ago, August, he's having trouble catching the ball. I don't think so.
It's a great feeling right now. You know, the whole town's lit right now. We needed it for the organization, and we did it just that, so it's good to get this job done.
Well, happy for the city. I think the city can finally exhale. I get that. If we feel like we're on top of our game, we can beat any team in this league. We're not afraid of anybody. This team's got a ton of confidence. We always know it's going to be difficult. Whoever we play next, it's going to be a great team. But our guys don't worry about that. We feel like we can put pressure on teams as well. We can be aggressive. Teams have to worry about us.
I'm really like that every game. It don't matter who is across from me. You know, I got that dog mentality. It's either be stopped or not be stopped. So, you know, I don't think I can be stopped.
I mean, it's exciting, but you know, this was expected. You know, this isn't like the icing on top of the cake or anything. This is the cake, and so we're moving on. Yeah, I felt good. You know, we could have played better on offense in the second half. So that was disappointing, but I thought we played really well in the first half and, you know, made plays when we needed to. Defense stepped up in the fourth quarter. So it's an exciting win. We're on to the next one.
I didn't expect it to go this way. I didn't feel like it was going to go this way all during the game at any point, all the way up until the last, a couple seconds. So everything just pretty frustrating when you look at especially that. I kept saying it'd be nice to go on a run with this team. Were we the most talented team in the world? No, probably not, but this is the closest, best team I've ever been on.
Both quarterbacks in their first playoff game when the Raiders made it a few years ago. Of course, Carr was certain and Burrow. Burrow has, what he's done is changed the entire culture of the Bengals. He's not doing it alone, obviously, but when you go into a game and know we got this guy, now they never trailed it. Well, they trailed 3-0, but when and this was not the Joe Burrow of riddling Kansas City or Baltimore down the stretch. This was a different sort of Joe Burrow.
Well, this was a guy who came out and was super confident, super efficient. Early in the game, boom, they went empty formation. And Joe Burrow, going back to his days at LSU, he told the offensive coordinator then, I want the formation empty because I can see the field better, allow me to make decisions. They've done that in Cincinnati also. So they spread the field, and they give him the option of where to go. And now he has a legitimate number one receiver in Jamar Chase. And the chemistry between Burrow and Chase, boom, its own display every game. And early on, it wasn't deep plays because the Raiders' defense is not going to allow you to go deep. It was the dink and dunk, the short passing game underneath. He was efficient, he was accurate, and they got the football to their best player on offense, Jamar Chase.
It's interesting. The Raiders outgained him. Again, these are just statistics. They never could quite even, except for 3-0, get close.
Yes.
Well, they were close enough.
It was like
but
they
never
coming
could get
uphill.
the equalizer. But they hung in. My hat's off. Derek Carr said it. Is this the most talented team? No. They hung in and gave the Bengals plenty of cause to, they were down in the red zone at the end of the game.
Well, and you talk about the red zone. That was the difference in the game because from the Raiders' standpoint, they got in the red zone 5 times. They only scored 1 touchdown. Okay, 4 field goals, 1 touchdown, the red zone defense. And it was pretty much, it was bad decision-making by Derek Carr. Here you have Derek Carr staring one way. Look at the safety, boom. He's just watching his eyes. Safety watches his eyes, closes on the play. If you're Derek Carr, you have to make a better decision. Here we have it on 4th and goal. Boom. Another bad decision. Even if he catches that football, it's not going to be a touchdown. Derek Carr's decision-making down the stretch was the difference. Think about this, boom. This season, in 4th quarters or overtime in the regular season or postseason, Derek Carr has 9 turnovers. That's the most of the NFL during that period of time. He's got to be better in the crunch time. He wasn't tonight. His decision-making in the red zone and late in games has cost this team all year, and it cost them again tonight.
Here's what I saw in Cincinnati that we didn't know that we would see. We know what kind of offensive weapons they have, and other than Burrow to Chase, a lot of the Raiders did a good job on Mixon.
Yes.
And a lot of the other receivers caught a couple. But the place we thought the Raiders, and they probably thought had an advantage, was Crosby and company on the pass rush. Since he's O-line, okay. They played much better than okay, agree?
Yeah, absolutely. The Raiders only had 2 sacks, and we came into this game, at least I did, thinking that the one place team-wise where the Raiders had an advantage was their defensive line against a Cincinnati offensive line. Let's face it, Joe Burrow got sacked 51 times this year, 5-1, the most in the NFL. So if you're saying Crosby, second-team All-Pro, Pro Bowler, these guys in Gakoy, they can get after the quarterback, 2 sacks on the day. And so you have to give a really big shout-out to the Cincinnati Bengal offensive line, a much maligned unit all year long. People have said they were suspect. They gave Joe Burrow time, sacked 51 times during the season, only twice tonight. That's an outstanding job by that offensive line.
Well, here's a couple other little things because, where you say, the Bengals, even if they're in, they're only going to get penalized. They're like the least penalized team in football.
Yes.
Their special teams are, their is really good. Much, much improved. Among the best teams don't have an advantage with them. So things that they didn't just win because they got all those yards in December against Kansas City and Baltimore. That's my point.
These are not the Bengals that, if you go back a few years ago, these are not the Bengals that we're used to. The old Bengals would make mistakes and basically shoot themselves in the foot. This Bengals team, well coached, Zach Taylor has a staff together. And think about this, boom, they were ready to give up on Zach Taylor. His first couple years weren't good. So think about they've stuck with him, the organization, and he's rewarded them, a team that's disciplined. You talked about the penalties, special teams, they play well. And you heard the confidence in what he said. He said, we know we're going to play a good team, but we feel like we can beat anybody. That's a confidence because of one reason. They have a quarterback who is a top 5 quarterback in football right now.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Burrow is top 5, regardless of who you want to put in there with him, the other 4.
Okay. Go ahead.
He's top 5, boom, and he played that way.
Well, he got glasses. Like, look at him. He was low-key. Want to do one thing for a minute here. So the Bengals are off the schneid. because they're 31 years between playoff wins now. That's done. So they can exhale. There are two franchises that had a longer one. The Lions at 34 years and the Cardinals, who started in Chicago in 47, went all the way to St. Louis and never won a playoff game and had to go to Arizona. So in other words, they were nomads 51. So the Bengals are off this list, 31 and stop. Now, game ball, your turn.
Oh, without a doubt for me, Boom. It's got to be the LSU connection, and I'm going to go with the latter part, the receiving part, that being Jamar Chase. Joe Burrow was outstanding, but it's got to be Jamar Chase, the tone setter, 9 catches, 116 yards. He had a couple of runs in there, and the confidence that he gives his quarterback, knowing that if I throw it in the vicinity, he said it once during the season, I don't care what's going on. I know Jamar is down there somewhere. Just throw it up. He'll make it happen. Outstanding day by a rookie in his first playoff game.
Yeah, the Bengals are going on the road. Maybe they'll have they win or get a home game. We'll see. Game ball, really? You have to ask. I mean, hello? 7 possessions, 7 touchdowns. Josh Allen, from minute 1 to minute 60, was more and then some than New England could handle. Running, throwing, and even interviewing with our Diana Rossini.
All right, I'm here with Bills starting quarterback Josh Allen. Josh, you told me before the game you were going to go bare arms out in this playoff game, but you showed up in sleeves. Why?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to lie to you. I'm typically an old school football guy and like to show my toughness out there, but I came out for pre-games and it was pretty chilly, and I went inside actually, and Mitch Trubisky had a different sleeved shirt on, and I was like, that looks pretty cool, and I put it on and tested it and with the football, and it actually held pretty sturdy, so I made the switch. But I was pretty warm out there, I'm not going to lie.
What was it like for you guys beating New England and seeing everybody?
It was awesome, and to know that our fans weathered the elements today and in basically sub-zero temperatures, it was awesome to hear their energy and feel the excitement in the air. It was something I'll remember for a long time, and after the game, I just kind of went to each corner and just pumped them up, and the amount of fans that were still here and how excited they were. It's something that they've been wanting for a very long time, and I'm glad we could give it to them today.
So even very call an audible with the sleeve. So that's so good.
Smart.
Listen, I'm going to make a guess. Crown Royal sales in Buffalo, an all-time high. There's probably none on the shelves, nor will there be for a few days. So both Buffalo and they did it differently, but boy, did they reward their home squads.
Well, and it was good for two organizations. Yeah, two organizations that have been trying to get to this position for a long time, especially Cincinnati, to reward their fans in a year where fans can be back in the stadium and be a part of it. 2 young quarterbacks, 2 of those top 5 quarterbacks we're talking about on display, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. I think if you're the NFL and you watch these games this weekend, you have to really smile based on the team effort, the star power, and everything we saw this week.
Well, to your point, Boog, if you're a football fan, you're looking forward to seeing them play again.
Absolutely,
next week.
yes.
Now,
yes.
We do it again on Sunday where we can put more of the pieces together. We're only underway in the playoffs. For Booger McFarland, I'm Chris Berman. Thanks for watching postseason NFL Prime Time. Wild Card Sunday, 3 games, and that's why we're here on NFL Prime Time. Chris Berman, Booger McFarland. You know, every year I think of us in the beginning of the season, we go, how are these teams not going to make the playoffs from the year before? 7 are in that weren't in last year, and we saw 3 of them on this day, on this Sunday. So you never know what we're going to see.
You never know what you're going to see, but this weekend always provides a couple of surprises and some good football by the front runners.
And then we also get to see some 7 seeds that hope to feel they belong. Yes. Maybe not the case on this day. Although, don't tell that to these teams. All right, where do we begin? Well, we begin, with 18 years ago, because it seems like we've been saying goodbye to Ben Roethlisberger for 3 weeks now. But Pittsburgh's storied entry, now they were in the playoffs last year, storied entry by winning the last 2 weeks and having other things fall their way. And Big Ben himself says, hey, we're team number 14. We're going to just give it a go. But they were going into Kansas City, where they were whomped 3 weeks ago. And the Chiefs are trying to get to the Super Bowl for the 3rd straight year. So here we go. Would the story continue for Pittsburgh and Arrowhead? Or would it be Kansas City, who won 9 of 10 to finish the year? Would they start rolling again? This was a bizarre beginning to the game. And I mean punt, 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 intercepted punt, 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 punt. We're not going to show you all the punts, but we're going to show you the fumble. So Mecole Hardman took the snap. Darrell Williams had the ball knocked out by Cameron Everett. Wait a minute, TJ Watt. It's a Pittsburgh touchdown. That's how they're going to win the front line.
Yeah, Chiefs getting a little cute. Mecole Hardman not used to handling the ball. Boom, fumble, snap. TJ Watt, who's going to win Defensive Player of the Year, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are off and running.
And they said, hey, we're going to give it a go. We're up 7-0. That first quarter and a half was like mesmerizing, as in nothing going on. Patrick Mahomes said, you know what? Why don't I take things into my own hands and feet? And he always gets out. He rarely gets hit on those plays.
He doesn't get hit. Man coverage, he took off.
And I tell you what, the last few weeks, Jerick McKinnon, number 1, has been kind of a revelation, a different sort of back for the Chiefs. Takes the shovel at 7-7.
They find a lot of different ways to get to that shovel. Mahomes with the fake to hold TJ Watt, and then the underhand flip. Easy touchdown.
And so it seems like once the Chiefs got going, where they do here 4.5 to go, well, this, Mahomes to Travis Kelce across the middle, running past 3 Steelers. The big man rumbling for a big gain, and then 3rd and 7 from the 13. Once you pop, you cannot stop. Byron Pringle, open up the tin of potato chips. Chris Pringle now into January. So different guys scoring touchdowns for the Chiefs.
Yeah, outstanding route run by Pringle there. Mahomes hit him.
And he's had a really nice season. Now Mahomes, less a minute to go in the half. Cuckoo Kachoo, DeMarcus Robinson. Chiefs driving. Again, it was like nothing going on for a quarter and a half. All of a sudden, we're showing you a different game. 3rd and 20. Mahomes says, I don't care. How pretty is this? On 3rd and 20, 21-7 at the half.
Yeah, boom, it's the subtle movements. Buying a little bit of time to the right, allowing Kelce to uncover, and then throwing off 1 foot. Boom, he's the only quarterback in the league can make that throw.
It's just so smooth, and all of a sudden it's 21-7 at the half. 3rd quarter, Chiefs get ball. 3rd and 12. This is a good-looking play. McKinnon with the 3 blockers in front with the screen down to the 5. Andy Reid's team's always a good screen team. And then, hey, the big fella, the season of the big fella. That's Nick Allegretti. Tackle, boom. Touchdown, 28-7 Chiefs.
I love it, boom. Little tackle eligible. Another thick 6. It's been the year of the thick 6, over 300 pounds.
Thick 6.
Yes.
You know what? I thought I was the nickname guy. You're perfect. 28-7. Big Ben. Najee Harris has had a wonderful rookie season, but guess what? It's a fumble. Gay hit him. Frank Clark, 55, falls on it. First fumble of the season. He's going to be a great player for Pittsburgh. Patrick Mahomes says on the very first play, this is what we do. Mimi, the Roadrunner. Tyreek Hill, route on 35-7.
Yeah, too much speed, and he's dancing with the cheerleaders. He ran right by the DB.
He did. Now, 35-14, Pittsburgh score. How about this? Snap to Kelce. He's going to, wait a minute. That's Kelce to Pringle. I told you they're having fun.
Hey, boom, as the young kids will say, Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy, they're in their bag right now.
Yeah, they are. And then classy, the end Ben and Patrick Mahomes, 18 years. Ben Roethlisberger, certainly a first-year eligible shoo-in and Canton, as we know. And Patrick Mahomes, though, he and the Chiefs, after a scare, give Pittsburgh credit, quarter and a half, it was a scare. But after that, it was same as it was 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
Chiefs 42, the Steelers 21. Mahomes 5 touchdowns, the postseason record 6. Darryl LaMonica, Steve Young in the Super Bowl, and some guy named Brady. 404 and 5 touchdowns for Mahomes. After the game, Kimberly Martin he caught him and he threw him, Travis Kelce.
Travis, you guys scored so many touchdowns that the stadium ran out of fireworks. Did you even know that? And what can you say about the offensive explosion that you guys have?
I had no idea. That's our job. Hopefully we stack up on a few more fireworks for next week. We know we got a great Buffalo Bills team coming in, and they played us great the time before, so we got to make sure that we go to work this week so we're ready.
Now, we got to talk about the touchdown pass. Did you guys practice that this week? Did you come into this game knowing, hey, they might call that?
Yeah, I've been 0 for 2 for my past 2 passing attempts, 1 pick and 1 incompletion, so that one kind of sealed the deal for me. I don't know if I'll ever get another one, but at least I got 1 completion for a touchdown.
Now, coming into this game, you knew you were going to face a different Steelers defense. You knew you were going to face a different Steelers defense. What were they trying to do, and how did you guys counteract that today?
I mean, that's a great coach team, and on top of that, they got a great group of guys. You know, they fly around. Cam Hayward, big T.J. Watt. I mean, those guys are the best in the league when it comes to defensive linemen. And, you know, we had to make sure that we played together and we made plays. We started off a little slow, but found our momentum there in the second quarter and didn't look back.
We didn't show it to, and thank you, Kimberly and Travis Kell. Obviously, all smiles. Chiefs are playing Buffalo. We'll get into this as we go. It's just bizarre that I'm reading punt, interception, punt, then 42 points. The Chiefs, they're back on it. You wondered about that. Okay, after the 8-game losing streak snapped a little bit, they beat Denver. This was back to the Chiefs team that rolled off the big.
Well, it was a Chiefs team that created some explosive plays. You wondered, especially after the fumble, the Pittsburgh Steelers go up 7-0, and all of a sudden, Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy said, hey, let's play our brand of football. Let's allow the best player in the league, our quarterback, to get the ball to our weapons. Travis Kelce became a big part, but more than anything, Mahomes became Mahomes again, throwing the football down the field, and this Steeler defense allowed them to play that way. A lot of teams playing with 2 safeties over the top. They do not let them get big plays. Well, the Pittsburgh Steelers didn't do that. They allowed Mahomes to be him, and he was that today.
Well, they were thinking that maybe their front wall, which did for a quarter and a half, could get to them, and the Chiefs were concerned with that. But look, Kansas City is pretty darn complete, and you saw other names scoring touchdowns. I mean, for the Chiefs, look, it's a long road, and you know who they're going to be playing, the cream of the crop here in the AFC, although they feel that is them. Did you see again today what you think the Chiefs could? I still think they're the favorite in the AFC. They look like it today. Do you agree, Boog?
They look more like the Chiefs we know for one reason. We know about Travis Kelce. We know about Tyreek Hill. Boom. They got 18 touches and 142 yards from Jerick McKinnon.
Yep.
No one counts on that when you play the Chiefs. We say Hill, Kelce, let's figure out a way to take those two. You don't count. If they can get that type of production from that running back position, now they can spread the wealth a little bit because you go into the game saying, don't let Tyreek Hill beat you deep, take away Kelce. But you can't account for the running back position. If they get that boom and the defense continues to be opportunistic, they're going to be tough to beat.
Right. The defense we'll have to see because against Buffalo, all those punts in this game, Buffalo has had no punts in three of the last 4 games.
Right.
Real quick, we would be remiss. We've been doing it for 3 weeks. But Big Ben and the Steelers, they got in.
Yeah.
You knew they would play with as much moxie as possible. They were the 7th seed. They gave it a go. It's hard to put into words in 20 or 30 seconds. We've been doing it for 3 weeks. But Big Ben, just the way he plays, rather unique in his 18 years to assimilate all those yards, throwing just the pump fake, the standing tall, and this. He wasn't the quarterback that he was in his heyday, but he got his team to the playoffs.
In the end, Big Ben's greatest strength, which is his brute physicality and his size, turned out to be his greatest weakness because it shortened his career at the end. He couldn't play till he was 44 like Tom Brady or into his 40s like Drew Brees. But what he did, getting this team to the postseason, he could still make the throw in the occasional moment. He just couldn't do it for the entire season.
Right.
And this team, as well coached as they are, to get into the postseason with an offense that was as inconsistent as it was, you got to give Mike Tomlin a great job. And Big Ben, first ballot Hall of Famer as soon as he's eligible.
Right. So the Steelers are out. The Chiefs are motoring on. And then we get to one of the great playoff rivalries, albeit we're going back in history a little bit, in the NFL. In the 70s, it was Dallas and San Francisco, 3 straight years, Dallas winning all of them. In the 80s, you know about the catch. Roger Staubach, hero, 70s. Joe Montana, Dwight Clark, hero, 80s. And in the 90s, 3 epic playoff games, back to back to back. The winner of the NFC championship game between these two would go on to win the Super Bowl. Now we're in the 2021 season, and Dallas has rolled in as the highest scoring team in football. Dallas has rolled in with the highest ranked offense in football. San Francisco rolled in like the fog, the last one in the playoffs in the NFC. But San Francisco plays a certain way, and that's how the rivalry was renewed at Jerry World. They never played in this stadium. And so what would we see? Well, we would see like we said, the stadium is one of the stars, obviously.
Yes.
Hey, boy, the Cowboys always look good coming out of the tunnel.
If they coming off the plane, they look great.
Jimmy Garoppolo, boy, the clutch game that he had against the Rams got them in the playoffs. The Debo, whoa, you talk about the ultimate weapon on many counts, and then look at Juszczyk block for Elijah Mitchell. Right away, physicality, offense, San Francisco 7-0. They lead 13-0. Nick Bosa had a sack. It was all Niners early. Now, but Dak, in the second quarter to Amari Cooper, maybe a game. Here come the Cowboys 13-7.
Yeah, outstanding job of Cooper getting on the outside. Good throw by Dak.
Now, over Nick Bosa, the Niners again all over the incompletion, but Nick took a friendly fire, as it turned out to be. Concussion, had to leave the game, and that just hurt.
Yeah, especially when a guy who's up for Defensive Player of the Year, to lose him. But boom, they got other guys that rush the passer just as well
They
today.
did, and Dallas has figured it would be easier, would not be. A 16-7. Intercepted by Quan Williams. San Francisco defense. Again, Dallas scored over 500 points this year. They have 7 at this time. Next play, Debo. Look at it. He's a wide receiver, right? No, he's a running back. No, maybe he's Superman. It's a touchdown, and the Niners lead 23-7.
Unbelievable cut. Boom. Some running backs can't make that type of cut.
Well, I don't know what he is. He's everything. 4th and 5, Cowboys. And Brian Anger, tricky Cowboys. He's not angry. He's happy. He completed the pass. C.J. Goodwin, big play, special teams coach John Fossil.
Yeah, good call there by Bones Fossil. And boom, in this situation right here, instead of them putting the offense on the field, they tried to delay it to catch the 49ers. By substituting, boom, they tricked their own selves, and the Cowboys cost themselves a penalty. So even when the Cowboys made a good play, 1 step forward, 2 steps backwards, boom.
Highest penalized team in football. They had 14 today. They kept shooting themselves in the foot. The Cowboys, they have a gun in the holster. I guess that's what happened.
I saw that.
Meanwhile, 9.5 to go. And Jimmy, who threw the ball really well, not here, though. Anthony Brown. And the 49ers had this well in hand. All of a sudden, the inexplicable turnover, and Dallas in business. Dak scrambling. We have a ball game, 23-17.
We've been waiting to see Dak to do this a lot, boom. Anytime you get open field, use your athletic ability and take off running. He did. Top Cowboys are in the game.
And Fred Warner was here with an excellent player. He's on the side. Under 4 to go. Garoppolo to Debo Samuel on 3rd and 5. And Dallas stops him, and the Niners have to punt. So now, what do we have from Dallas? Under 2 to go, 4th and 11. Being chased. Throw to Cedric Wilson. And this, not yet with timeouts, but going to come close to wrapping it up, right? Wrong. We have a lot to show you. Next Niners drive. Great shots.
I know the feeling,
in there.
sweetheart. I know the feeling.
So, second down. Debo. Dallas ready for him here. But shock. Flag on the play, defensive hold.
Yeah, normally you don't get, but anytime a defensive lineman is holding, he's trying to stop the offensive lineman from getting outside. Good call by the ref.
And so, Cowboy fan, really, is $1:20 to go. No timeout, Dallas. Debo, a first down, and it's over. The blocker, the push, he's what is he? Goodbye? What? Yeah, it took like 5 minutes to take a look and read spot and bring the chains out.
Just a hair short. Great play call by Kyle Shanahan. George Kittle's leading Debo, your 2 best players on offense.
So they bring the chains out, and so 4th and inches, a first down is going to end it, and they get it. The Niners are. But wait a minute. Hold on. They got it, but a false start San Francisco.
Yeah, that's on Jimmy G. He's got to allow Trent Williams to get set.
So they had to punt, and no timeouts. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, Lamb. He's out of bounds, 20 yards, 18 seconds to go. This tight end's had a big year. He knows something. Dalton Schultz out of bounds. Now, the Niners are guarding the sidelines. There's no timeout. Look at the lineups, the sidelines. So Dak's going to run. Can he run, get down, and spike? Tick, 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 tick. Whereas the umpire, he's trying. Tick, 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 tick. It's over. It's over. Wait, is it over? Hold on. Let's see it again. look, Ramon George, the umpire, did a great job trying to get in there.
Yeah, boom, the game is over because the umpire has to touch the ball before the play starts. So here's the problem. Dak went up and put the ball down. Instead of giving the ball to the umpire, Dak didn't do that. So the umpire has to come in and touch it. Cowboys have no time left.
So Dallas made a comeback in a game that really San Francisco, if you use the eyeball test, could have easily won by 2 scores. They did not. They had to hold their breath, but in the end, they get to exhale. The rivalry renewed, and once again, the Niners beat the Cowboys in Big D. Jimmy G happy.
I mean, it was just an emotional game. The highs and lows of it, everything. Just never felt like it was getting away from us. I always felt like we were in control of the game, but just yeah, I mean, it made for some good TV, I guess.
We definitely underachieved, and it sucks, point blank.
It is disappointing. It hurt. It hurts all of us hurting. But we just got to rally around each other and start thinking about next year.
I'm surprised and sick. Well, I think this is a time that when you get this combination of players together, you need to have success.
We had a lot of confidence, trying to set up that last play, but. Yes, I mean, our execution wasn't what we would have liked it to have been, clearly.
Made the call knowing that we're in a get some yards and get down and we've got to clock it, knowing that situation, something we've practiced over and over again. Ran, went, got some yards, went down. As I was getting behind Tyler, saw 4 seconds left. Thought it was time, obviously, to make sure everybody was set, and then honestly just got hit from behind, and then still there. When I gathered myself, saw 2 seconds and thought I could get the snap and get it down before time expired, and unsure exactly what happened other than that.
Well, we will get to that very shortly here because it was just kind of a ending, but San Francisco played. Look, first of all, the game was played the way they wanted to, with the winning score being in the 20s, not the 30s or the 40s. They brought it defensively, and very interesting, again, play calling. Kyle Shanahan, as was pointed out during the broadcast, Dan Quinn, Coach Kyle Shanahan, offensive coordinator. I mean, so these guys knew each other. Yeah. Kyle's and D'Amico Ryan, defensive coordinator, on it, right?
No doubt about it, Boom. And this game was won in the first half by the 49ers with Kyle Shanahan as play calling. They don't have what I would call a conventional offense. So they create a lot of plays for their running backs, Mitchell, but most importantly for Deebo Samuel. He's their best player on offense. And so they create ways to get him the football, whether it's screens. Today it was tailback at the tailback position, Boom. He's playing the traditional tailback, running the football downhill. He's making cuts like Zeke Elliott, like Le'Veon Bell, like some of the great backs we've seen. But this is Kyle Shanahan saying, you know what? I'm not just calling plays. I'm calling players. I'm going to get my best guy the football, and I'm going to do it from the tailback position so I don't have to rely on Jimmy Garoppolo to read a defense. We're going to snap the ball, and we're going to get him the football. And Deebo Samuel, his ability to make plays from the tailback position and them running the football helped them control the game.
You got to love this. So Hall of Famer James Lofton, he broke the mark of most rushing yards in a playoff game by a receiver. Now, Lofton, of course, was a champion sprinter as well. And that's with the 82 Packers. I'm going back a long, long way. So that's what Deebo and the Niners, he's just so unique. Yeah. So what did he have today? Ran for 72. He caught 38. So for 110.
Yes.
Now, okay, but all of a sudden Dallas finds himself in the game and they're calling time. And all of a sudden they don't have any. They're trying to, they have a chance. What's your read on how everything ended, Booger?
Well, Boom, when you look at the Cowboys and you follow them all year, their head coach, Mike McCarthy, they've had time management issues all year long. And here you have an end-of-game sequence where the 49ers are guarding the sidelines. So they're going to give you the middle of the field for a reason because they want you to go there. They want you to take the middle of the field. So Dak takes the middle of the field, but here's the mistake. You have to get up, take the ball, and give it to the umpire because the NFL rule says he has to touch the ball before the play can start. Dak puts the ball on the ground, center touches ball. Now umpire has to come in and touch it, which is what Dak said. He got knocked down. And so now the Cowboys, Dak Prescott on his own, if you listen to the sound after the game, on his own, he said, this is the play I'm going with, okay? And him and his head coach, they practiced this, but he on his own wanted to go with this play, and he ran out of time. It was a day of bad decision-making by a lot of people in Dallas, the head coach, the offensive coordinator, and on the last play, the the quarterback. You have to realize that you don't have enough time to do that because not only did you lose that down in the game, but you lost the 2021 season.
Unless you want to run 10 yards and get down in a hurry, I guess. We could debate it, but here's the big picture, Dallas. The highest scoring, win the division for the 11th straight time they've gotten in the playoffs and not made the championship game. That hasn't happened since their last Super Bowl in '95. They're 4-11 in the playoffs since they won the Super Bowl. And it's a head scratch. Although we knew that, look, the Niners have taken it to the Rams and they've taken it to the Cowboys, the teams that look the best coming out of the tunnel. But against San Francisco, all of a sudden, they didn't look so good.
They didn't, and that's an issue. And for the owner, Jerry Jones, there's one word he's going to hold on to this offseason: underachieving. That's what this team did.
Yeah. Penalties. San Francisco, good team.
Good team, absolutely.
Really good team. And they're moving on, and Dallas is moving out. Now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, of course, the defending Super Bowl champs, accomplished something that they didn't all of last year. Won a division, had a home. I understand the Super Bowl was at home, but it wasn't a home game. They have a home playoff game to open up as the 2 seed against the 7th seed, another 7th seed from the Keystone State. That would be the Philadelphia Eagles. Tampa, yeah, they're injured. But you know what? I think the quarterback's still playing, Tom Brady. And that's where we go to I still call it the new sombrero. It's not that new.
That's a little old.
You played in it, but I love the place. The Jolly Roger in the end zone, and there come the Bucks and fire the cannons and Tom Brady, Jalen Hurts. How would the Eagles, with the top running game in football, do? Well, everybody's hurt running back, right? Hand him the damn ball. Keyshawn Vaughn, 17 yards, and then. They got back. I like this player, of course. Former Bengal Giovanni Bernard.
Yeah, and he's Tom Brady's safety valve, getting the ball out of his hands quick.
And then you know what? You made that catch. Why don't you score a touchdown? Bucs lead early, 7-0. Philly, with many on the roster that won the Super Bowl 4 years ago. Coach Sirianni was relying on that. But I tell you what, there's Jordan Whitehead playing defense on Miles Sanders, back from injury. Hurts. Well, you love Hurts sometimes. He's not the best.
Yeah, no, without a doubt, Boom. And the Buccaneers and Todd Bowles, they were spying Jalen Hurts. Joe Tryon, first-round pick from Washington, spying Jalen Hurts all day.
Now, next Buck possession. Tom still has Mike Evans. And guess what? He stands tall anyway. He stood real tall. 14 yards. Now Brady to Vaughn, 14-0 Bucks. Philly could not afford this. You don't get out of your game yet. But if you're 3 scores and it's moving along, this rushing attack, it's not going to work. Not for comeback. Brady. That time, Derek Barnett, Javon Hargrave. They had a few sacks of Tom, I believe 4. Field goal 17-0. Eagles, 4th and 4. Hurts to Dallas Goedert. Maybe some life late in the half.
Yeah, you thought just maybe, but boom, it wasn't meant to be.
The Jalen Reagor, who had a tough game, well, that's not him. That's Carlton Davis making a very good play.
Yeah, outstanding break on the ball. Keep your helmet on, son. He took it off.
Well, this is Tristan Wirfs, right tackle. I don't think he missed any plays all year, maybe 2 years in a row. But Wirfs, he tried to come back in hurt. That's Ryan Kerrigan, the veteran, with the sack.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been in the game, Boom. He tried to come back. High ankle sprain sounds like it. He tried to give it a go, but his day was done.
Center got hurt for a while. He came back. Meanwhile, right before the half, Hurts, and it still hurts. Mike Edwards going to pick off the youngster. And Devontae Smith, they didn't use him. He was open.
Outstanding double move. Hurts was late. He saw it. He needed to throw that ball about 2 seconds sooner, Boom.
17-0 at the half, Tampa Bay. Philly trying to calm down. Hey, let's go. Forcing a 3-and-out. Eagles going to get the punt. Bradley Rack-and-Pinion is going to punt it. Reagor's having trouble catching the ball, receiving, and he's having trouble the ball catching punts. He muffed 2 of them.
Here's the mistake, Boom. Notice how he sits down. His weight is leaning back. Ball is forward. His body and momentum are going away from the ball. He muffs it.
Well, this is Adams and there. Bruce Arians even out there with the Achilles. Yeah. Hey, get out of here. We don't need a flag.
Partially torn Achilles.
Yeah, partially torn. Brady says, Gio Bernard, I know your ex-team, the Bengals, won. We want you to win too. Right? And now Brady fakes a handoff. Oh, he and Gronk. We've seen this forever. He's special.
Yeah, he's very special, Boom.
No, he is special. It's Robert. Now, Hurts, back foot. That's a great play by Shaq Barrett.
Boom, outstanding. I haven't seen a D lineman get up that high since me in high school. Boom.
Is that one Mississippi or is that Louisiana?
Louisiana. It's a Louisiana. But just an outstanding play.
Louisiana to Louisiana. The Eagles, very next play, flying. Brady Evans. That is textbook right there.
That's pretty much the nail in the coffin. Mike Evans with an outstanding route, creating separation. And anytime that big offensive lineman can spike the ball, you know it's a good day.
Well, Mike caught 9 for 117. Tom Brady now in the postseason. We're talking 46 games, 35-11. I mean, that's you know, hello. And to the Eagles, they got in, but they also were playing the Super Bowl champs who played like it. 31-15, Tampa Bay. Tom, moving on again.
I think it's always important to try to get the lead. And, you know, we've done a decent job with that at times. You know, we've clawed our way back too. So I think it's finding different ways to win's really good, really important. I'd love to always start fast like that and have a lead like that. So it was a good way for us to start the game. We're going to try to make it happen again next week, whoever we play.
I think they're all disappointed in that little relaxation. When you have a chance to shut somebody out, you don't relax. And I think we learned a lesson there. But, yeah, for 3 quarters, they were fantastic.
This game does not define us. It does not define who we are. It does not define us at all. And we know all the different things that we've overcome. We know the environment that we built as a football team and the organization with the youth we've had, and which I've talked about all year. And I know as a football team we'll be back. We'll be back. And this is a feeling that will kind of simmer in our hearts, simmer for us all.
And that's what you want to hear out of the quarterback and out of the team. The Phillies, it was 31-0, and that's what Coach Arians was talking about, 31-15. Theoretically, if the onside kick, it's at 16. But look, it was all Tampa Bay here. And look, their defense was ready. I know, can they stop the run? And even though Tampa's down a few players, compared to some other teams, they're not down the quarterback. He will not allow any slippage.
Boom, for 2.5 or 3 quarters, for the first time in a long time, this looked like the Super Bowl team from last year. Defensively, they were dominant. Offensively, the quick passing game of Tom Brady. Bruce Arians is on record as saying, as long as I have Tom Brady, I will score points. Boom, and it's really simple. Catch ball, throw the football. He knows where he's going with the football before he ever takes the snap. That's how he can process information very quickly, get the ball out of his hands, and the rush was not getting there. And his efficiency and his rapport with some of his receivers was outstanding. Boom, and it really doesn't matter what the pass rush does, because as long as Brady can do that, they're going to be tough to stop.
Fastest average time to throw in a game. I mean, you know, there's all sorts of things. Tom, he hasn't changed. He could always get rid of it quickly when needed. But boy, I mean, he's 44, and he led the league in like everything this year, right? In yards, in completions, in attempts. And by the way, this little note, Jalen Hurts is the 28th quarterback that he's defeated in the playoffs. 20.
That's a lot of them.
Are you kidding me? Joe Montana, second most, 15.
Yeah.
So I mean that's for Philly. Real quick, look, no knock. This is obviously, but you're in the playoffs, 7 seed. But we've had 4 7 seeds. We had Philly and Pittsburgh. They weren't winning. They both tried hard. They weren't winning. Chicago last year played hard. They weren't winning against the Saints. Indy had Phillip.
Right.
But so 3 out of 4, 7-2, you see the difference. It's not a knock on Philly. It's just when you're one-trick pony and you're playing a really good team, you got to learn from it and grow.
Very limited offensively, just like Pittsburgh. If Philly couldn't run the football today, you knew it was going to be tough. Jalen Hurts, when asked to play conventional quarterback and not the college read option, he struggled. And Todd Bowles came into this game saying, I'm going to take away the run. I'm going to make you play quarterback. And he couldn't do it. And I think that's something they're going to have to work on in the offseason. If a team takes away the run game and you can't run the football and you can't run the college-style offense, can you play quarterback at a high level the NFL way? He couldn't do it today. Maybe next year he can.
We'll see. We'll see. Well, there's a quarterback that's played at a very high level for 18 years. I mean, that game just ended a short while ago, and that's Ben Roethlisberger, who, of course, came in. Bill Cowher, they won a Super Bowl, won a Super Bowl with early head coach Mike Tomlin, got into another one with kind of early head coach Mike Tomlin. Mike is still rolling on, and after 18 years, Ben is done in Pittsburgh, although it was prolonged. Like the 9 lives of a cat, he had like 3 at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Both coach and quarterback talk about the final game.
Man, he was 7. It's been an honor and a pleasure, man. I don't have the words.
Yeah, I don't know if it's emotional because it's just the end of the season. I mean, this would be emotional no matter what. It's, we never like to lose and go out, and I'll miss these guys. It'll probably really hit me come training camp time.
Well, Boog, I think, and you experienced it in your career, Ben's going, okay, I'll feel it at training camp. But even for us fans, whether you're a Steeler fan or not, you're a football fan, like, it's over. Like, it's over. And for Ben, it's over, but the memories will last forever. He can still order a Roethlisberger anytime he goes back to Pittsburgh where he lives there.
Yeah, he's going to have a ton of memories, Boom. And I'll always remember him as being that big, burly quarterback in the pocket. He invited you to come. He wanted you to come hit him because he knew you couldn't bring him down. It was not enough just to beat the offensive lineman and get back there. But the second job was to bring him down, and he made play after play, eluding defender after defender. That'll be his lasting memory in Pittsburgh.
Well, and for Coach Tomlin, too, who now things will be different in Pittsburgh, obviously.
Well, it's going to be a different iteration, so now I have to rebuild, and I think that's going to rejuvenate him and give him some more energy to figure out what's going to be the next Pittsburgh Steeler. How are we going to do this? How are we going to do the quarterback position? Where are we going to go? I think that's going to give him a lot of energy, and he's looking forward to that challenge.
You were talking about something earlier, too, like at the quarterback position, like Terry Bradshaw, the Ben, it's Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Big, burly, tough quarterbacks,
Fits the city.
just like they want their defensive linemen, just like they want their defense, just like they want their running backs. It is the city. He represented it well. So, well done.
Yeah.
Very, 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 very well done. All right, speaking of well done, game balls. Not any game ball. Playoff game ball. Who do you got,
Oh, Boom. Everybody talked about who was Tom Brady going to throw the football to. He still got weapons. Numero uno, Mike Evans, Boom. 9 catches, 117 yards. And when Tom Brady needed to make a play, Boom, he's been doing it a long time. 8 straight years, over 1,000 yards. His route running ability, he's not just a jump ball guy. He can get open. He ran tremendous routes today, and he was big for the Buccaneers. Still got weapons in Tampa.
All right, so folks were wondering, when are we going to see Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs? Yeah, well, they saw it, and the Steelers saw it on this day. 404 yards, 5 touchdown passes. Everybody was different who he threw to. Some of the names you know, some names you're not familiar with. The Chiefs served notice that they plan on defending their AFC championship. However, you talk about it, Tommy and I used to love this word, a barn burner. We're going to look at the games that we do know for next weekend, and the last one, which will be Buffalo at Kansas City. Can we say, get the abacus ready to start loading up things on the scoreboard, although both teams' defenses will have a lot to say about who wins this game, despite Mahomes, Allen, and everything the headliners they have on offense.
2 teams that know each other pretty well. One in Kansas City with a high-flying offense. The other, Buffalo, with the best point differential in football, a defense, the number 1 defense. I can't wait to see the chess match between Leslie Frazier and Eric Bieniemy. Those 2 coordinators, the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs and the defensive coordinator for the Bills. Can't wait to watch that, Boom.
Of course, that was the championship game a year ago, which Kansas City won. They beat them earlier this year.
Yes.
Buffalo, however, when they were rolling and the Chiefs didn't, Buffalo handled them pretty well earlier.
They did.
Earlier this very well, so they're going to go in with some confidence too. And Green Bay, San Francisco had a wonderful game. Rodgers made a great throw. Crosby kicked one at the buzzer earlier this year, but when they've met the last decade in playoffs, it's been San Francisco the upper hand, including knocking Aaron out of a chance to go to the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. He'll remember, and he'll be at home.
Without a doubt. And if you're Green Bay, here's what you have to realize. Can I stop the run? Because when the 49ers have beaten them and they've beaten them badly, they couldn't stop the run. And if you are the Green Bay defense, you have to figure out a way. Can you make Jimmy Garoppolo play the quarterback position conventionally? Make him beat you. And in the end, I think if you're the defensive coordinator, Joe Barry, if you can do that, you will have done your job.
And the thing with no history, and we won't go on forever because we could. So Derrick Henry's coming back for Tennessee. How will he be?
Fresh.
Well, he'll be fresh. How will he be in football shape? Probably. Cincinnati, they won. They're still the nubile in the playoffs. How will they be? So this is kind of we don't have much charts on this, which makes that game fun. And then there's the fourth game. And the reason we're waiting, because as we do this show, we don't know Arizona playing at the Rams in the rubber match, the winner to play Tampa Bay. But Scott Van Pelt knows what happened. Boog does too, because you're going to the game. But Scott Van Pelt does, and here are the highlights from Monday night playoff football on ABC, ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN Deportes. You get the picture, Scotty.
Boomer, as you alluded to, it is a rubber match. NFC West foes each had one on the other's home field. The Cardinals, frankly, Week 4 dominated this game at SoFi. Rams returned the favor. Matthew Stafford looking for his first ever playoff win. Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, they got dominated. Scoreless in the first quarter. Matthew Stafford. Odell Beckham Jr. had an enormous game. Then on 2nd and 13, it's Stafford to Tyler Higbee. Inside the 10. Now, can the Cards hold them to a field goal? No. Up top, perfect throw from Matthew Stafford, and what a grab from Odell Beckham Jr. to high point the ball and spin and keep those feet inbounds. Touchdown, Rams. Kyler Murray, first playoff game. His coach Cliff Kingsbury said he expected him to play the best game of his life. He was under duress throughout from this Rams defense. Von Miller gets to Murray. Cardinals finished the first quarter with -3 yards of offense, which is the second fewest by any team in the first quarter in the past 35 years. There's Beckham Jr. again, wide open on a little wheel route. And then Stafford is in. Initially ruled on the field, he was not. Sean McVay would have to challenge because the overhead view clearly shows that Stafford is in. After the review, Stafford given his first rushing touchdown since 2016. This was a huge moment in the game as Murray gets the Cardinals off their goal line with a completion to A.J. Green, but the Rams would challenge again. There were some that wondered, wow, you challenge, you don't get this, you're out of challenges. But it proves to be a great challenge because that hit from Nick Scott meant that it was incomplete, call reversed, and then Murray, again under duress, just tries to get rid of it, but that's ill-advised because the safety would have been 2 points, and that David Long Jr. pick is 6. Murray, it might not have been called for grounding because Rondale Moore was there, but the McVay challenge and the Ram defense gets him the touchdown. It's 21-0. They nearly had a pick on the Cards' next possession, but it was dropped. This one wasn't, as Murray is picked by Marquise Copeland. Everything goes wrong. Frankly, the Cardinals' defense did a nice job to keep it at 21-0. But early in the third, the Rams get fancy. Odell Beckham Jr. catches it and looks for Cam Akers. What an amazing story this guy is. He popped his Achilles back in December. He had over 100 yards from scrimmage in this game, 40 of them on that one. Cooper Kupp, a relatively quiet game for the NFL's most prolific receiver this year, but he does catch this touchdown pass on 3rd down and 3. So a couple of 3rd down red zone completions for touchdowns, and the route is on. If the Cards are going to have any chance down 20 in the 4th, they need a 3rd down stop. They don't get it once again. It's Stafford to Kupp, and then one more time. Been a broken record all year. Stafford to Kupp, and the Rams would tack on another field goal, so no scoregami for those of you that were looking for 31-11. 34-11 your final. Disappointing finish for Coach Kingsbury and Kyler Murray in their first playoff games. And Matthew Stafford off the schneid, boom, he gets his first playoff victory. So the season series goes 2-1 for the Rams. Far more importantly, it means that they earn a date with a team they beat Week 3 in SoFi, hoping to earn their way back to SoFi like the team who won on their home field last year, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's the Rams at the Bucs next week, and boom, now we got all of our teams for the best weekend of the year, the divisional playoff round.
All right, Scotty, great that you could visit with us all year long on NFL Primetime here on ESPN Plus along with Steve Levy. But as we say to Steve last week and you this week, take the rest of the NFL primetime season off. We appreciate it. But we ain't taking the rest of it off.
No, we're not.
We're just beginning to roll up our sleeves.
Yeah, let's do it. Hey, we're getting down to what, as my grandmother would say, the nitty gritty.
Getting down, grade 8. Here we go. So for Booger McFarland, I'm Chris Berman. Thanks for watching NFL Primetime. We're just, like we say, rolling up the sleeves.